Yo, yo, yo. What is up, guys? It's Brock and Alex back again for another podcast on a Monday morning.
Yes.
It's not a Monday morning right now. It's actually a Sunday afternoon because we kind of, last minute. We're here. Okay, we're making it happen. No broken promises.
Yet.
And today we're riding on Dreamland, which is kind of a old track. It was featured in one of like the Moto movies with Plessinger. This is the same one from way back, and we're just gonna kind of jam out on this and talk about stuff. Some of you commented in the previous video. Just we got a couple questions from there, and we'll just kind of shoot the shit, I guess.
Yeah.
And just yeah, that's the plan with this. So thank you if you watched the last one and are committed to listening to this one too.
Yeah. There was one thing like someone mentioned and they're like, "You guys are so underrated. You deserve more subs," which first of all, thank you. But like do you think that's true? Like not to like be like we deserve more, but like do you think like I think we're pretty solidly rated.
I don't know. I wouldn't say we deserve more. Like that's just probably a kind thing that he's saying. But I think like
I've heard it a
the
lot.
amount of work that we put in and like I don't know. Like I guess we've been uploading videos somewhat consistently for like almost like 3.5 years now, or
Yeah.
more, 4 years. And
Almost 4 years.
so I think with what we've put in is what we've got out. I don't think like, oh, we should have 100,000. It's like
Yeah, definitely not.
I think we both take this as a really casual thing, and we don't like take it for granted. But at the same time, we just do a video a week or so, and yeah, we just do it for fun. So thank you though for the comment. I think I'm happy that we have as many subscribers as we do. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we're underrated because we have, a pretty solid community and fan base, which I'm super grateful
Yeah.
for and stuff. But like, it wouldn't surprise me if we were at 30K. You know, I mean that'd be cool.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
you know, so I think we're pretty good where we're
Our
at.
Discord is popping, or I mean, was popping a little more
I don't
a
really,
while ago, but
yeah, I don't really look at it that often. But I actually just did a member count like 10 minutes ago and is at 491, which is insane.
yeah, I
Like,
know
oh my
that blew my
god.
mind.
Yeah, that's crazy. If you guys aren't in there and you're interested, there's like cool meme pages and like places for you to post your own pictures or screenshots from the game, like renders or just cool stuff. The link will be in the description. It's definitely a fun little community and everyone's pretty cool in there from what I've seen.
Yeah, it's
But,
a lot of like OG kind of guys from the channel drop in once in a while and post some screenshots or renders, and
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
some of them we've seen are pretty sick, and we've posted a couple of good ones on our Instagram, which is cool.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. But yeah, it's cool to see everybody in there and vibing.
I know I'm not like super into the like the moto, I guess you'd say the moto scene right now. Like, I haven't been listening to Pulp or anything, so it's like having this little group to come back to is always kind of nice.
Yeah, it keeps you kind of in the loop.
Yeah, exactly. So
Oh.
link in the description of all our videos. It's the Discord.
Yeah. Cool.
Are you going through comments?
Yeah, I can.
Oh,
Really
okay.
quick here. There was one interesting one that we could do. I'll save that one for a little bit though. Um, do you mountain bike? Snooky da
Do you mountain bike?
said that. Snooky
Am
da.
I going first or you?
Well, I don't. So Go for it.
Oh, I still do. I used to race downhill a little bit. Like when I was like 16, 17. And then now I just have a Pivot Mach 6. It's like I think it's 2017, and I just trail ride casually, like maybe once a week. So the skills are still there,
Yeah.
and I do it pretty regularly. So yeah, I've been doing that more than motoing lately. I went out and rode for the first time in like 4 months a week ago, and so yeah, I mountain bike a little bit.
Nice.
Go to if anybody's wondering where I go to Sly Park a lot of the times, or I get ride some of the trails in Auburn, and then every once in a while I'm down at Granite Bay
Oh, nice.
riding around there. That's a good little trail, you know, loop. I guess you can find a lot of good routes through there. Good stuff.
That's cool. I used to when I was in high school. My high school had like a mountain bike team, and so like we do all the TBF races and stuff. And that it was fun, but I did that for 2 years, I think.
Hmm.
But I was like, I got into it pretty late, and I wasn't horrible, but my endurance just wasn't there. So I was like the back of the middle, you know. And not saying I like quit because I didn't win ever or anything, but
But you quit because you didn't win ever.
no, I just wasn't super into it
You
after
quit because you
a
were
while.
the back of the middle.
So the back. But no, it was fun. I think I'd do it more as just as a hobby than like competitively.
Yeah, we need to get on that e-bike gang.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not there
But
yet financially.
yeah, I know. But it was fun. Like we went down to Monterey for a race. Um,
Did
we
Sea
did,
Otter?
yeah. Or it wasn't Sea Otter. It was there's like these trails right next to the Laguna Seca like racetrack, and so it was like cross country mountain biking. It wasn't like downhill or anything like that.
Uh
Um,
huh.
but I think that's where they hold the Sea Otter though.
Oh yeah, it's at Laguna Seca.
Yeah, it's like right there. So it wasn't for the Sea Otter, but it was for like some other race thing that we were doing. I don't even
Oh
remember
okay.
what it was called, but it was fun. Yeah, we
Dang,
got to
were you
stay
in
for a night and stuff.
the skin tight stuff?
Oh yeah,
So you're like all
dude.
Xceed out?
The vented helmet, Oakley's. You got the vented shirt and the chamois.
Yeah, I still rock. I gotta rock a chamois,
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't
especially
have
during
like full
summer.
shorts over it or anything. It was just this freaking tights,
So like
butt
you could see the
pad.
bulge.
Oh yeah,
He had the speed bulge.
the speed bulge. Yeah, dude, thing was weighing me down.
Nice.
But yeah, it was fun. Did the same thing. Um,
I
Cameron,
did cross country
what?
actually before I did downhill. So like when I was like 15, I did like a couple 50 milers and stuff.
Yeah,
But I was like, I never went full beast mode lycra speed bulge.
yeah. It was weird having like the mile tracker on your handlebar. I'm like, Jesus Christ, we seriously rode that far? like, like when you're just like pedaling for like 4 or 5 hours, it's crazy how far you go.
Yeah.
But but yeah, I don't do it anymore. I think eventually I'd probably sooner get a mountain bike than a dirt bike at this point now, because I could just
Yeah,
get the
it's more
roof rack thing, and it's
practical.
like you just throw it on the roof rack and you go, like super easy and fun, and you're outside. It's good exercise. I should actually look into getting a mountain bike. Shoot.
And then we can go.
Yeah, and then we could go. That'd be
God,
fun.
dude, you've been
I need
slacking.
to start
And they're cheap
exercising.
right now too. Like If you look in the next couple months, all of the 2020s will be like on sale.
Ooh. Ooh.
So just saying, just saying.
Yeah, I'd want a full suspension for sure. I'm not messing
That'd
around
help
with
you
those
out. You need a
hardtail bikes.
29er. You need a large frame for sure.
Yeah, something fun.
Hmm.
But all right, moving on. Cameron Steinspring says, "What's your favorite bike brand?" Um,
Hmm.
out of the ones I've ridden, and I've ridden Honda, Kawasaki, Yamaha, and I think I rode your KTM like a little bit when you had it,
Yeah.
but that one I won't compare just because I didn't put a lot of time on it, and it was a two-stroke, and I never have ridden two-strokes really, so I didn't
Yeah.
really get a full effect of a KTM. But out of the three that I've ridden, I probably liked the Yamaha the most because it felt the most comfortable for me, like sitting down on it. And not that the other ones weren't, I just felt more like in control, if that makes sense.
Uh-huh.
Like it just felt more natural for me to sit down on and just ride.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's like preference for everybody too,
Oh yeah.
you know. But
Well,
yeah,
it's
for
like
me,
everybody's
Yamaha.
different levels, different like riding type, and then different weights, heights. Like it's all subjective.
Yeah. Yeah, what about
Hmm.
you? Because I
I'm trying
know.
to think. I don't really want to say I have like my favorite out of everything is very slim because like they're all minis or like trail bikes. Like I haven't had like back to back to back moto bike swaps.
Yeah.
But by far my favorite is my YZ250F because it's a 19, and I think it's just because like right now I weigh like 150, and I'm probably over 6'2". Um, but like it's comfortable, and then it's got good suspension out of the box. Like I don't push it harder than the suspension that comes with it, and
Yeah.
the power band. Like I was gonna get a Vortex ignition on it, but went with a stock mapping. Like I did a Kiefer. What is it? It's like it's the one that gets rid of like the D cell popping after you get a aftermarket pipe on there, and
Uh,
that map is just like it's super torquey, and for a 250 it's like a mini 450. It's got a lot of like bottom to mid out of corners, which is what I really like because I'm pretty light, and so I can come into any corner in second and not even have to touch the clutch, and it pulls me right out of it. And so I think the YZ250F is definitely a beast of a machine, and two, it's just like for longevity. Like if you're trying to ride 20 to 25-minute motos, like hard, just no big deal. You're not holding on to a 450. You're kind of it's good, just middle ground. So I'd say it's a good bike. Not a lot of vibration, good geometry, good suspension, easy maintenance.
yeah.
It's just got it like all. The only gripe I have about it is the seat. I had to go with the hard foam because I'd hit the subframe.
Oh wow.
And then the hard foam is like rough. It tears your ass up. Like right on your sit. Like I don't know. I'm not like a big guy, so like right on like my sit bones, dude. Like after riding like a hour and a half, 2 hour day, like like it's a pretty long day for moto. Like it's definitely noticeable. So that's my only
Yeah.
gripe. I haven't found the right seat combo for it yet. Maybe that isn't a problem for people. Maybe I just need to stand up more, which I've been working on. But yeah, definitely YZ250F. It's hard to go wrong unless you're over a certain weight or skill level, I guess. Then you're going to 350 or 450.
Yeah.
So yeah, for my application, that's like the sickest bike ever. Never let me down.
Nice. Yeah, you look really comfy on it.
Yeah, and you guys can check out the GoPro videos too. I have a bunch of new ones. Check out the latest one because I'm probably the best in that one.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I learned a lot on that bike, and
Oh.
definitely a good choice for anybody that's looking to either go from like 85 up to a bigger bike and or 125. I feel like you can make the jump from 85 to that bike because you can, with the different mapping, you can make it really linear,
Hmm.
and so it's not as scary to hop on. So yeah, that's the lowdown. Favorite bike, favorite brand,
Yeah.
Yami.
So we have the same Yamaha.
Yeah, and Alex had the 450 and I have the 250, and so kind of goes to show like he's you're a little heavier, a little taller, and so like it's
Yeah.
just suited. It's whatever fits, I guess.
Yeah, that bike was scary at times though.
Oh
Like
yeah, well
holy crap.
it's got a lot of torque and
Yeah.
grunt. I actually did ride a 2019 or maybe a 2020 YZ 450F
Mm.
in the last 6 months, and I will say, yeah, it's got a lot of a lot of power. I
Yeah,
kept it
there.
in like third basically the whole time, and yeah, you could just be creeping up to a jump and then just give it gas and then over jump it. So it's a lot of bike, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's still solid, stable, good chassis, good suspension.
Yeah, I
Coming
agree.
from like I would say like I'm like a novice intermediate guy. I'm nothing special.
Yeah. All right. Alex is a tiger says, "Why don't you guys try uploading other games to the channel like GTA 5 or something?"
mm,
Usually when we try to upload other videos or other games, specifically,
yeah.
like they don't do well, or people are like, "Why isn't this MX Sim?" Or even when we tried doing MX versus ATV All Out,
Yeah.
people were like, "Why aren't you playing MX Sim?" and stuff. So I think we just started to kind of steer away from that. But
Yeah, it just never got like we'd upload sim videos and everybody's like, okay, cool. And then like when you upload something different, like it throws a whole loop in it and then gets like 500 views. And I
yeah,
feel like it's just not really the platform to be uploading different games all the time on.
I've
Um,
seen it. It does work, but I think we would have had to do that from the beginning.
yeah, like
You know?
we didn't integrate anything until like the 80th episode. And then when we started doing the other games, like, yeah, they didn't do terrible, but like people aren't subscribing to us for that at that point,
Yeah.
after uploading Sim for so long. So,
I think what would be fun is sometimes like do a live stream of Rainbow Six. That way
mm,
like it's Simbros is streaming this, and then it's just a live stream, and then it's done, and then we can spend our time on other videos. That way, if you want to watch that, it's there, because we could just
yeah,
make a playlist and then it's there, which is cool. Or like we stream GTA 5 or whatever, because I play a ton more games than this. Like this is probably one of my most played games, just because how many videos we've made. But I don't
true.
usually just turn on Sim to play it. I do occasionally, but usually I'm playing it to make a video.
Hmm.
Um, I usually play. Right now, I'm into Star Wars Battlefront 2 a lot. That one's super fun. And also, Rainbow Six is another good one. That one's like one of my favorites. And then The Hunter, which we've done a video on, and that one actually, come to think of it, did pretty well. That one has like 60,000 views.
Yeah, that was like the funny moments.
Yeah, that was a funny video.
That would be
And
a good live stream game.
that would be really fun actually to live stream
It'd be
that.
boring at times, but Yeah, it'd
When it's
be
on, it's on.
entertaining. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe it would be fun because then, when I'm just feeling like playing a game, I could just live stream it. That way
Yeah.
you guys would
Hmm.
get content that's other than MX Sim if you want it, and then it wouldn't be taken away from the MX Sim. Because I think what the problem was that people that sub to us for MX Sim, which is a majority of the people,
Hmm.
were feeling like they were like, well, why would they spend time on something that isn't Sim? You know? But like I can just start live streaming if I'm just playing, which would be fun.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that would actually be
I
pretty cool.
totally agree with your statement, and I have no further opinion.
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Cool. So yeah,
Oh.
maybe in the future that'd be cool. Um,
Yeah.
or well, like next time I play, maybe I'll live stream, but that'd be fun. Um, yeah. So Waffle Shark said, "You guys are so underrated and love your stickers. Thank you, and thank you." But
Oh, we gotta plug the stickers. Go,
oh
guys,
yes,
go check out the new
dude,
stickers. Okay, we got it.
I said
Somebody
I was.
ordered the old sticker, which isn't like a bad sticker, but we
It's
got
not.
brand new ones for you guys. Okay, we got ones with transfer tape that you can stick on your car, anything, dirt bike, helmet, goggles,
Hmm.
um, that look good, and they're just single color vinyl. You get it black or white. We got calculated. This the joystick logo for you guys. And yeah, a couple more. Go check them out. It's in the description as always.
Heck yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
I'm stoked on those. I like those a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But
I still haven't got them.
dude, you gotta come by and pick up the cactuses and some of those stickers. Like, what do you want? Because I'll have to cut some more.
I don't know. We'll discuss that later. It's
Okay.
a top secret,
All right. Deal.
classified information. So yeah, guys, go check out the stickers,
Yes.
please. They're epic. They're good. Good quality.
They are
Cheap.
cool.
Shipped to your door.
Yes.
Handwritten letter from Alex.
Yes. All right.
Hop on it.
So this is the last one that we're gonna go over, and it's from Luke Sutton. It was actually 19 hours ago, so good thing we
Tweaked it in.
procrastinate.
Yeah.
um, do you ever think about all the small things you have done and how they may have affected a bigger event negatively, and why you were lazy about your decision? Love the videos. Been watching for about 6 months, and vibe is perfect while doing school. Thank you. Um, so
School
like I
vibes.
think like what he's asking is like, have you ever made a decision that might have affected something else, like a domino effect, kind of?
I think about that kind of stuff all the time. I don't know
Yeah.
if I'm like what is it, a hypochondriac? But yeah, definitely I'm an easily stressed person. This is a good question.
Yeah, that is a good one.
I'm
That's why I
like
saved it for
I'm
last. I'm
I'm
like,
pretty easily like stressed, and like if I have a couple things going on, I got a lot going on, I'm not like
mhm.
I'm an amazing multitasker. Like I like to start something and then finish it.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely I always have those kind of thoughts, like I don't know, just about everything. Like, oh, if this didn't happen, then like this would have happened, and then I would be where would I be? you know. And
Yeah.
some are negative and some are positive. So, I mean, yeah, I think about that all the time. What about you?
Yeah, I definitely think about it about me, you know,
Yeah,
as
he's
if
selfish.
no, just like like you
Kidding.
were saying, how oh, if I didn't do that this summer, then what would I be doing now? Or like if I didn't meet that person, like where would I be?
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. But in terms of like negative events, the only thing I've ever thought of is like if, for example, you drop an ice cream cone or something and you don't clean it up, or like a banana peel, for example, and you don't clean it up and someone like slips on it and dies. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Whoa, what about let's make it kind of personal. What about like when you crashed at Hangtown? Did you ever think like, oh,
All the
like
time.
if I was to go back, like I would have done this X, Y, and Z different.
I don't remember much of it, but it's weird to think because now my elbow pops all the time, and like it hurts every once in a while. So like I'm constantly reminded of that, even though I don't remember it that well, just because I hit my noggin, which is
Oh
terrifying.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
big
Brock was
noggin.
there. I rocked
Big
my
noggin.
rocked my noggin pretty good. Um,
Called his girlfriend like 6 times.
yeah,
No, not 6 times, like
it was
three.
once, but I don't even remember what I was saying. But I was terrifying her, and I just had to keep asking where I was
uh
going.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, if one of your buddies gets his shit rocked at the track, call an ambulance. Don't let him
Oh yeah.
say his mom's gonna come pick him
Don't
up.
negotiate with the impaired. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was so bad.
Yeah, apparently I was like,
Oh
no, I'm fine. Like, my mom can take me. And they're like,
yeah,
okay.
and then like every 2 minutes he'd be like, "Wait, where am I?
Oh my god.
Wait, what day is it? Wait, what
Jesus.
happened?" It was like, oh my god, it's so bad. It's so
That's
bad.
scary. Fuck.
Well, here's how I think about it. Like I got a concussion. I didn't get knocked out. I wasn't like
mhm.
loopy, but like I was like throwing up later that night and out for, a little over 3 weeks out of
Yeah.
work and stuff. And so for you, like getting knocked out and having like all those crazy like side effects,
Yeah.
like brain injuries are so weird. Like
They
I
are
don't
weird.
know. I think it affects different people differently. Like some people can be like asleep for 30 seconds and then kind of come to and be like more coherent than some people that didn't get knocked out.
Yeah.
And so like, dude, brain injuries are so scary. But I think about that sometimes. I'm like, whew, that's scary stuff. I think
Yeah.
I still have side effects from like me.
Same here.
Just like cognitive, like not like I'm really good at split decisions, like when I'm writing and stuff, like everything's fine, but like I don't know, maybe like mental health.
Yeah.
Like just being like in a good mindset all the time, and I feel like it affected me a little bit like that. It's harder for me to be like outgoing and stuff now, which is kind of weird.
Like, sense that?
Yeah, like I kind of,
Huh.
I don't know. It's like I used to really want to like go like hang out, which I do, like go hang out with friends and stuff. But I used to like do it all the time, and now I'm kind of like introvert a little bit. Like
That's funny. Because,
I'm not like the first to, um, yeah, go do something now. Like I really think about it and like who's gonna be there and like what we're doing. When before I was like a little different.
yeah, I would probably be the opposite, which is kind of interesting because before that, and I don't want to be like all philosophical and be like it changed my life, but it
Yeah,
honestly
me either.
did. It like that was like terrifying because that was the first time I'd ever been in the emergency room and the first time like I'd been seriously hurt, and I was asking the doctors, I'm like, am I gonna live and stuff? And they're like, well, probably. I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, okay. Like, and then they're telling my mom, like, just make sure if he starts acting really interesting or like weird, bring him back because that means his brain is bleeding.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
god.
oh my god, like Jesus. Um, so that was weird, and now I'm a lot more. Um, I'm a lot more outgoing now, which is kind of funny. Like I'm more confident because now I'm like, who gives a shit? Like whatever. Yeah,
Well,
it's kind
that's
of
interesting
interesting.
too. I wouldn't say that I'm less confident. I just like
You just don't want to go out and do
I
stuff as much.
think about stuff more. You know what I mean? Which makes it so I don't go out and do as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
And
I
so
kind
I
of see
like
where you're coming from.
constantly I go back and forth with myself about like stupid things that I used to not. But it
Yeah,
didn't affect my confidence at all, like or anything like that. It's just I just think about stuff differently, which is weird to like actually sit here and think about.
Yeah,
So I don't know. That's funny though.
it
Like,
is
how
kind
would
of
you
weird.
say you're more outgoing, like with uh with your job and stuff? Did that affect anything, or was it after
That was
your whole thing where you just kind of like, I don't even care about like what people think, or
I've kind of never really cared about what people think too
uh
much, but like deep down, I know I did. Oh man, we're
yeah.
we're getting deep in this podcast,
Oh man,
but
let's go.
yeah, like deep down, I'm like, obviously I care what people think, but at the same time, I didn't really let it affect like who I was. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah. So ultimately, it didn't really affect me, and then after that happened, I was like, I want to make more friends and stuff, and I'd be a lot more introspective. Is that the word?
uh Introspective.
Introspective, like looking into like my life and stuff, and like,
That's true. Yeah, like as you're doing something, you're
yeah,
like kind of like analyzing it a little bit more than usual.
yeah. I'm like, what am I doing? I could be
Yeah.
I could be out doing this instead, or like I want to go hang out, or like friends would invite me to things, and I'd always say no, and I still say no, sometimes, but um,
Yeah, you weren't at the barbecue. What the hell,
I
man?
know. I forget what I
Having
was
this whole
doing.
talk, and I was there, and you weren't. So this really doesn't prove our point.
Yeah, but besides, like 4 days ago, um, like I made a bunch of friends at work because I had to take the semester off from school after I got hurt. And I'm like, well, if I'm not a full time student, because at that point, when you're a full time student, you're going to school Monday through Thursday, and you're there for like 4 to 6 hours a day, and it's pretty draining. So it's difficult to have a full time job as well, and even a part time job because they're giving you, because like school is your job at that point, kind of. Um, and I'm lucky enough that I live at home and I don't have to really worry about that. So I had the opportunity and like the choice to go to school full time, and so I was doing that. And then I got hurt, and I made the decision. I went and talked to one of my professors the day after it happened, because the only thing I knew when I hit my head was that I had school the next day. And so I went
What?
and
You
I
drove?
no, my mom drove me. I didn't drive.
Oh
No,
God.
yeah,
I was like,
my mom
dude,
or my
I wasn't
dad
even
took
allowed to
me to
drive.
school. I don't remember who it was, but I remember I was in a sling and my face was all swollen and stuff. And like, I asked my professor, I said, like, what do you think I should do? And he's all like, you look pretty banged up, so I'd take the semester off. So that's what I did. And I got a job a couple months after, and I met some cool new people and had a really fun summer and stuff. But before that, I would have always said no to like going out and doing stuff. Like my
Yeah.
coworkers were always like super fun, inviting me to things and stuff, and I would be super down to go, which was weird to me because I never would have said yes to that. I'd always be like,
Maybe
"Oh
the
no, I'm
school
busy"
thing
or
too
something.
was maybe without school, like your priorities switched for a little bit, you know?
Yeah, or another thing that I thought of was I never like had a job working with the public because I was always pretty shy and everything. But now working with the public, you have to say like, "Hi, how's your day going? It'll be $12, blah blah blah," stuff like that. And I
Hmm.
think that really helped. Just because you're talking to like 400 people a day, which is
Yeah.
a lot compared to people that just sit inside all day, which is what I was doing. Um, so yeah, I think that helped a little bit, and also, yeah, just meeting new people and hanging out
Okay.
and all that. But
That's interesting. You're saying like like you're more introspective, or I mean,
yeah,
I think
more.
everybody knows what we're talking about. If that's the wrong term, but
I'm
I'm
gonna
pretty sure
Google it
it's
right
right.
now. I don't want to be feeding
I'm
people wrong
I
definitions.
would actually say like I'm the same way. Like after, I know it's so dumb. Like, oh, after, like, I didn't even get knocked out or anything, but
Yeah. No, head injuries
like
can do that
it
though.
still like really messes with me. And so, yeah, I would say I'm like more introspective, and that's the reason why I like kind of look at
Yeah,
like going out with my
introspection.
friends and stuff more often. Like I'm the opposite way because of the same reason.
Yeah.
If that
Intro-
makes sense.
Introspection, self-examination, analyzing yourself, looking at your own personality and actions, and considering your own motivations. So yeah, we're right on the money with that,
You know what's
which
crazy
is
too?
cool.
This is crazy to talk about because I just listened to a podcast where they were talking about going to therapy, but
Mm.
not because of like, people think that you got to go to therapy from like a traumatic experience, which like that's helpful for a lot of people, but
Yeah.
like people don't realize like how much therapy like can do for you, like to because if you're not introspective, like you could keep doing the same tendencies like over and over like your whole entire life and not
Yeah.
understand why you're doing them or what you're doing. And so like I've actually been kind of looking at myself, like there's a couple of different, I don't remember the tests and stuff. There's a couple different tests that you can take that like shows you if you're like a 1. And then if you're a 1, you're a perfectionist. If you're a 2, you're like a performer. If you're a 3, like you don't really care, or it's like I forget how many different ones. There's like 10. But for me, like it was I think 3 was like a performer. I'm kind of like a performer because I think before I do something, like I think about like what other people think. Like I don't even think about what I think about what I'm doing. I know this is complicated and I'm trying to make it as
Yeah.
simple as possible, but I think about what other people would think or like what I would say to other people watching, or you know what I mean, before I think about actually like what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. You know what I mean?
Like you think about what other people will say in a situation, like you
Yeah, I think
rehearse
of
kind of.
random situations. I'm like, well, like what if somebody says something about this? Then I'm like, oh, then I'll say it like this, or like, oh, this is how this will go. And I think about like interactions with other people before I even think about like why I'm doing it for myself. And so,
Oh, I know what you
which
mean.
like I do things because
That's
obviously
interesting.
like I'm interested in them and I want to do them, but I didn't realize like how much I thought about that until like it kind
Until
of
you
got like brought
thought
up and I
about that.
looked into it. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so like I don't know, I think I'm more introspective that way too. Like I'm trying not to, like I'm just kind of taking a step back and looking at like myself
Yeah.
and my tendencies like in patterns and stuff. And it's I don't know, it's really interesting. Like I'm not one to be like, oh, I'm gonna start meditating, but like I don't see why not, because a lot of people I feel like I get really wrapped up in like what I'm doing day to day that I don't like ever like take a breath. And so that's why
Yeah.
I have those kind of like moments where I'm just so caught up in everything. I don't even think about like why I'm doing it and like what it's doing for me. You know what I mean?
Kind of. So like
Because you're just
when
kind of like a stress ball just going through the motions.
yeah, I definitely feel the going through the motions type thing and not really thinking about it. But
Yeah.
like so when you're waiting to get a haircut, are you like, okay, I'm going to say I want
Dude.
this on the side of my head? Like
Yes.
you can't just like when
Yes.
he asks you, you can't just tell him. You have to like think about it.
I gotta think about like, okay, if he says this, like then I'll say this, or like
What?
if it goes this way, then kind of like I'll like make sure that he knows not to take too much off because that's happened last time.
Wait,
Like, dude,
really?
that's literally what I think about. Yeah, and
No.
it's not even intentionally. That's the crazy part. That's just how like I've been processing everything
So
for
like
so
when you're
long.
sitting in like a social like situation or just interaction, you're just thinking about what the other person's going to say and like you're
Um,
coming up with like responses.
not really. Like in that case, I'm just like kind of along for the ride, but in like things that I can control, like things are out of my control, which is like a social setting. Like it's just whatever. Like I'm just going by the seat of my pants. But
Yeah.
like anticipating an interaction with a single person is like the thing that I do best. And so
Huh.
like if it's like a Craigslist meetup, like I really try to like feel them out over the phone. and then like I
Yeah,
go
I
through
mean
like
that's
different
normal though.
scenarios, but I'm not saying like I think a lot of people can relate to this, but I'm not saying that it's like weird that I do it. It's just how I go about it, and I never even realized it until like I took a step back.
Yeah,
And a lot of people never take a step back, which is crazy to think. And so like I think
yeah,
I don't know, you can benefit from like just I don't know, thinking about what you're doing and why. And what was the word? Introspective.
introspective. Yeah,
Being more introspective, I think like everybody can like if you're like 12, you're probably
yeah. Don't worry
you're
about it.
probably just kind of going through the motions, like it's all good, but yeah, never really it's just weird to think about. Like I've never thought about it like that, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I know
So,
what you
pretty
mean.
crazy.
Yeah,
And I have noticed like things that I do and I like kind of like snap myself out of like what I'm doing, you know?
mhm.
Because I'm like, stop, you're like thinking too much.
I do tend to overthink things really frequently,
Hmm.
which is something I need to work on. But at the same time, it's not like a horrible thing. Like, my girlfriend would be like, "Why didn't you just bring it up when it was bothering you?" But for me, I like to process things on my own at my own speed, and then bring it up later when I can be an adult about something and not let
Yeah,
emotion
it's a
affect it.
emotion,
So,
yeah.
before I just start yammering on about like random things or whatever in an argument, and this isn't just with my girlfriend, this is with people in general, I just take more time to process things and like
Yeah,
let my
especially if you hit
emotions
your
kind of
head.
like run through, and then that way I can like think about the situation without letting my emotions um, affect my decision or like my choice or
Well, do you
decision
think
and
that
choice are the
came
same thing.
did that come from like after you were like more social? Is that just how you think you handled everything? Is this like a new thing or
No, that's like more just me maturing and becoming more of a person, and not just blowing up on things. I never really blew up on anything or anybody. Like I'm not an angry person. I'm pretty
Yeah.
easygoing and stuff. So it's like I can't even remember the last time I yelled. My voice would probably cut out on me or kill me if I tried to raise it. But yeah, I'm a pretty quiet person.
I mean, when I
Like
stub my toe, I give it hell.
I'll swear at stuff, but I don't I don't like raise my voice or anything. I'm like you
I
flubbing flub.
actually a couple weeks ago I stubbed my toe on like a 45-pound weight
Ooh,
on the ground, like nailed it, just humdinger, just dead on.
freaking
And
sent that one to the.
I let it loose with like four cuss words, and then like emotionally I was good after and I recovered. But then
Yeah.
I noticed my garage door was open. This was in my garage, and I look out and my neighbor's walking his dog. And so he just thinks that he's like living next to an unstable lunatic. Right
You're
now.
just swearing at literally dead weight.
And then I'm in there like fiddling with like a screwdriver when he's walking by, and he's probably like side eyeing me like, "Oh my god,
What the hell is he doing?
oh my god."
That's pretty funny.
I totally agree with you. Like I'm an overthinker, and I think I'm geared that way just because like I think it has benefited me, but more often than not, like I'm just thinking about 1,000 things a minute for literally no reason. So
Yeah. I
I'm
think
working on that.
yeah, that's something I've definitely experienced. And two, your brain like runs through all these scenarios when you're overthinking things, and it like usually for me it jumps to worst case scenario, which it never
Yeah.
happens.
Hmm.
Like it never goes that way. So I think once I kind of stop doing that, I'm like, it's gonna go how it's gonna go, and I don't have to worry about it. Like taking a test, for example. Like I'd always work myself up way more, you know. And I'm like, yo, if I'm gonna fail, then I'm gonna freaking fail this thing, and whatever. You know, not to say like don't care about what you do or care about doing well, but like
Hmm.
people are gonna they're gonna perform how they're gonna perform, and you can't ace every test just like you can't please every person and stuff. And I don't know, it once I kind of got that out of my way and not worried about it too much, I'm like, yeah, I'm chilling. Like I don't get like anxious at all talking to strangers or anything now. I'm like,
Mm.
yeah, it's whatever. Like,
I would say I'm working on the same thing.
yeah,
Well, I think too, like I'm not even gonna relate it to like a concussion. I think it's just maturing,
yeah. I think,
like, and kind of realizing that okay, like I'm 22. I just been kind of like doing what I want and not thinking about it, but like I should probably start thinking about what I'm doing and why. So I would
yeah,
say I'm the exact same way. I think that's why we we're friends,
yeah,
is because like um we just go about things the same way. And so I don't even remember a time where we like argued,
no,
because I think like both of us just kind of realized even like a while ago that like arguing is pretty pointless. And
yeah,
so, and we don't even have anything to argue about. So,
no,
but yeah, I think we're both on the same page, and that's why we're friends. And like I didn't even realize this until now. So,
yeah. I mean,
oh, basically, like I know you've said you like overthink things before, but like I'm the
no,
exact same way. Like I'm the kind of person that I think just it's a fault of mine, but just for like peace of mind, if something weird goes like on in a conversation with somebody, I like remember it and think about it until the next time, and then the next time I'm talking to them, I'm like, oh, do they remember like what happened last time? Like, because that was kind of awkward. You know,
yeah,
that's just how I'm geared.
eh,
So
probably not. They probably don't remember. I think
exactly,
it
that's
comes down
what
to
I've
people just
been.
not caring.
That's yeah, like
People
they
just don't
exited that
care.
conversation and literally dropped everything, 5 seconds after, hopping in their truck and driving away.
Yeah, they're
And
like, oh, I'm
I've
gonna
been
get some
sitting there
tacos.
for weeks thinking about, okay, I've seen him this day, and you know, like
Yeah,
that's just how I'm geared, and I hate it so much. But like now that I'm kind of like aware of how I do it, I'm
yeah,
better at, not. But still, dude, it's like so hard to break the pattern.
yeah. I know what you mean. Um, yeah, I forget what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, duh. It's actually about short-term memory loss, which is kind of funny. After I hit my head, going back to like the concussion and how it's affected me, I don't even think we answered this guy's question, dude. We just digressed. But
Dude, yeah, we went on like a 40-minute tangent, I
yeah,
think.
but like I feel like I have a hard time remembering things now. I have a harder time
Mm.
remembering little stuff. Like my girlfriend would be like, "Aren't like, don't you remember me telling you this?" I'm like, "No." You know?
That's gotta piss her off.
Yeah, I don't think she's a big fan, but she knows that I rung my bell pretty good.
Yeah, she knows that she's dating a moron.
Yeah. And like I just agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, it's just kind of, or like I'll forget what I'm talking about like mid sentence. And it's funny, but it's also like not, because it never happened before I hit my head, so I know that's what it's from.
Damn, honestly, like, I think maybe it's harder for me to multitask now.
Yeah.
Like, it's more stressful. Like, fewer things adding up on my list get to me more for
Yeah.
some reason. So I'm working on that too. But yeah, I totally get that. That would suck because it's kind of out of your control.
Yeah, it's totally out of my control. Like I can't work on that. You know, it's not like being shy or anything. It's
Yeah,
like
that's something
if
that
you're
you can
shy,
like
you can be like, okay, well, I'm gonna
slowly.
try and talk to a person today. Yeah, like I can't be like, I'm gonna try and remember things better today.
Yeah,
Unless I
I
write
mean, you
everything down
could.
on my phone. Like,
Yeah, you could. Maybe you're just skimming through life right now, just
I'm just,
bottom feeder status and just not
I'm like a rock.
retaining anything. Yeah.
I'm a skipped rock. I'm just making, covering as much ground and making as little contact as possible.
Wow, that's kind of good.
It's philosophical. What did I say?
What did I? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but we're chilling. We're fine.
The GoFundMe for Alex is.
I know. I know. It's scary to think about. Like, what am I gonna be like when I'm 75? If
You're
I
gonna be
make it to
shitting your
75.
pants, and I'm gonna be wiping your ass.
Yeah,
That's how it's gonna be.
probably.
Just don't let it happen again. I think you'll be in the clear. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Anyway, before we end it, we'll probably end it soon, but I just want to read this guy's question one more time to see if I can like give like a good answer to it because we didn't really address it that well.
Oh shoot.
About all the small things you've done, how they may have affected a bigger event. So like small things. So yeah, like a chain reaction.
Mm.
Not really, just because I don't do anything small that I feel like would affect a lot of people. Like I don't have that much control, I don't think.
Mm. Okay.
I see what you mean though. Like
Yeah,
how
I don't know. I don't have a lot of instances where I think about like that's happened to me.
yeah, like a good example would be like you drop some gas after you're filling up your car, you know? Like 2 drops. But then some dude accidentally like lights it on fire and it blows up the gas station. But it was like your fault technically because you dropped the gas. Even
I
though it
don't
was
know.
like
I'm
totally
trying to think of
minute.
like social events where like somebody said like if you said something to somebody and then like it trickled down and got to somebody it shouldn't, you know?
I feel like
Like
that
I feel
happens
like
all the time then.
that's more of a practical. Yeah, you're kind of like final destination, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm kind of
you
like
know, you just blow
over
up a
here
gas
like
station like you do.
conversationally. Oh, did you
Like
see that by the way?
normal. Yeah, I did.
That was G. Um, I'm thinking, yeah, conversationally. The only instance that I think of is like I kind of like went on the fling with a girl over a weekend, and then I came back and raced the same day, and like I ate it
Like
because
your
like
mind wasn't there,
I wasn't mentally like ready,
prepared.
and so now like when I ride, I'm kind of like I assess myself. Like some mornings I'm like going riding 100%, and then I just don't load up because like I'm not like feeling right, you know, about it.
Yeah.
And
I
so
I
I agree with that. Like that's happened before where I think like you know, if I didn't do this, then like
that wouldn't have happened.
this wouldn't have happened, and then if I didn't do that, then I don't know. Yeah, that's true. That's true with concussion though. Like if you never got the concussion, then you wouldn't have like maybe been introspective about things like as soon, and then that could have affected like your
Like job or
school
stuff.
or your
Yeah.
job or you know like anything, and then you could be like at a completely different spot than where you're at
Yeah.
right now.
I think for me, like I'm just happy to be here. After that, like I didn't know because it's I don't know if any of you have ever been in that situation, but like I remember pulling up in the parking lot and then black. Like I don't remember anything from that day and like anything else really. Like I remember spotty things. Like I remember riding in the like the side by side back to my truck
Yeah.
and being like, I think I know what's happening, but I didn't. And then I remember sitting in a wheelchair in the emergency room and this guy telling me to hang in there. And then I remember them giving me morphine. And then I remember the conversation at school the next day. And it's like really scary because like all I was doing was riding, like something I normally do like every weekend and stuff. And then like it changed a whole lot. about my
Yeah,
life, which is kind of weird, but
which is
also
probably
interesting.
honestly though, think about it this way, you're just talking some Final Destination type stuff. So like,
Oh, oh,
what if you never crashed that day
yeah.
and you just carried on, and then you like if you got
I
your
was
Harley.
driving home that day and I got hit by a car or something.
Dude, yes,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. That could have happened
yeah,
because like you could have got taken out by like a drunk driver on the way home.
yeah. That's just
Or
like
like, you know what I
divine
mean?
destiny, dude.
That is, yeah, that's what I was trying to look for
I know
earlier.
what
I
you
didn't know how
mean.
to explain it.
Okay.
And so
I think that's what he
that's
was asking then. Okay,
dude.
for me,
Woo, this just opened up a whole thing.
I started getting tattoos because I was like, well, that was pretty painful. And I was on morphine and that hurt like crazy. I bet tattoos don't hurt that bad. And I always wanted tattoos. And then I never got them because I was afraid of what they'd feel like. And then
Uh,
after that, I was like, I could probably handle a tattoo. And sure enough, I can. And I love getting tattoos. And I like having tattoos. So now I'm almost sleeved on my right arm. So it's like that never would have happened. Like I probably still wouldn't have tattoos if that didn't happen, which is
And I wouldn't
interesting
have a
because
tattoo if you didn't get tattoos.
yeah, and like I've met some rad people like in the tattoo shop and like everything and like just some fun things have happened and stuff and like I don't know. It's just I started drawing because I started getting tattooed, not because I want to be a tattooer, but it's just fun to draw and um, I like pushed kind of my illustration style and my graphic design job like a little bit more. I became more confident and I did a logo for someone and I like drew it, which was cool. So I probably wouldn't have drawn that logo if I didn't get tattooed, and I wouldn't have gotten tattooed if I didn't crash. So yeah, it's like it just kind of falls into place. It's interesting. Like I would have liked to have not wadded my brains out and ate shit super hard, but I'm happy where I am right now, and I don't know if I'd be here right now if I didn't. Not
Dude,
saying like
yeah,
I would
that's
have died, but
yeah.
like I wouldn't, you know.
Or maybe even it's not like you're some crazy like Final Destination stuff where you would have died in a car crash later that day, but like then maybe it shifted perspective. Like when you're riding your Harley, then maybe
I'm
you
a
didn't
little
take as many
more,
risks on the
yeah,
Harley, and then because like if you didn't crash, then you'd be like still
more
like kind of pushing
fearless
the
and
edge because
yeah, that's a good
you're
example.
indestructible. And so like then maybe something dumb would have happened there,
On
or
the
like
Harley where it's way more devastating. Like
dude, yeah,
doing
like
90 on the
you're
freeway and then
with
get taken
your
out.
dirt bike by yourself crashing, and that happened. Like I can't even imagine a car or something like
Yeah,
and so that's what I think
that's
about all the time is like
yeah, that's interesting.
if this didn't happen, this would happen. Like, and if like when you approach things differently, then like you don't make the same decisions, and that like that adds up even over like weeks or months that you don't even realize that you're
Yeah,
making decisions like going towards something. Or it's pretty crazy.
that is crazy to think
I
about.
think about it sometimes with like my girlfriend because um like if that like I had a crazy kind of summer before,
Yeah,
and just
same.
like everything that happened, like I think about it sometimes, like if this didn't happen, then like this wouldn't have happened and I wouldn't have done this. And
Yeah,
like the whole thing is just insane to think about. Like 2019 was like a crazy year for me, like the craziest. And so um yeah, I just think about literally every single thing. Like, oh, like if I went out with a different girl, then I'd be like, where would you be?
yeah.
You know what I mean? So every little thing
It's
that's
just
like so
experience.
true
It's like life
is
experience, and it's how it's affected you and who you are like now, which is cool because it's like just progressing as a person.
dude,
You know?
even like being in that, like getting hurt like that, like made you like probably a different person just subconsciously,
Yeah, like without realizing
in
it.
a lot of ways, like how you look at things and stuff. So
Mm.
that's totally true. And
Damn.
Yeah.
Freak, man.
Two, I think I'll say the last point. I think like I find myself now just more like thankful to be like where I'm at.
Yeah, same here.
Not like, oh, I hit my head, it's bad, but like I just think I just find myself looking around like more like just in tune with like what I'm doing and like where I'm at, and like just taking a step back and like deep breath.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I found myself like doing that more lately. I don't know if it's just me being 22 or what, but like I think I appreciate things more
Definitely.
than I did, and without like all those like prior experiences, like your world is like pretty, I don't know what the word is, like kind of sheltered, and so
You're like naive
anything
a
new
little
is
bit.
like anything new is good, even if it's not good.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like having like experiences and like going through a couple things like that definitely opens your eyes a little bit.
Oh,
So
one last thing.
okay,
Um, so like
I'm
after I was in
finished
the
my
emergency
point, so go
room,
for it.
I like dislocated my elbow and I tore like all these little tendons that like hold your elbow on and stuff. And so I was like, oh, that sucks and everything. And after I
Mhm.
recovered, it was like my third date with Taylor, and I took her to Folsom Lake, and I was like, yeah, I'll show you Folsom Lake. Like, it's pretty cool, and we can just hang out and go on a hike and stuff. And we drove back to this part and parked, and there was this. I just heard like this faint screaming. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on? And then this kid comes running down this hill. I'm like, is everything cool? Like, you guys need help or something? He's like, yeah, hold on. And then he ran back up and he's like, Dad, there's people here. And he offered to help or something. I'm like, oh, okay. And then this kid comes down and he had actually like dislocated his elbow, like the same thing. I'm
Uh-huh.
like, oh. And so I'm like, yeah, man, like I can drive you up. I mean, I'll drive you to the emergency room if you want. He's like, no, 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 my wife is coming to the front of the park. Like, if you just want to drive me up there, that'll be cool, and we can just switch cars and everything. I'm like, yeah, yeah, no worries. So we put him in the car, and then on the like drive up there, he's like, oh, like, what are they gonna do and stuff? And he was a younger kid. He was like 13 or so. I'm like, I actually dislocated my elbow in January of last year. And then he was like asking me questions about the emergency room and stuff. And so if I didn't get hurt, I would have been like, I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing too. Like I had my own personal experience at that point of like being hurt, and I know how he felt kind of.
Uh-huh.
And so I was more like empathetic maybe, and like
Wow, we're
more,
going deep in this one.
yeah. I was like, oh man, like don't worry about it. Like they'll take care of you. And then he was like, okay, cool. And it was pretty funny because the kid was like, Dad, this wouldn't have happened if you let me stay home and play video games or something.
Oh, true.
Yeah, it was
Oh
so
my
funny.
God.
But yeah, that's the last point I'll make on that. So yeah, in short, we do think about events and how it affects other events.
Do you I
Oh,
Okay, yeah, I think as long as you're actively thinking about like what you're doing, where you are, and what got you there, and where you want to go, then you're doing good.
yeah, just don't
I think
worry.
that's a normal,
Don't worry and be
like
happy.
20-year-old thought process of like just trying to figure, you don't really have to figure anything out. It just kind of like, it kind of happens. That's what I've been realizing more and more. Like stuff just kind of
Yeah.
like you said, falls into place. So, um, yeah, as long as you're actively just thinking about what you're doing, then you're good. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to wrap this up. I actually thought about maybe at the end of these we'll do like cause I'm like pretty heavy into music,
Mm.
and Alex is too. And so maybe we could do like either a music recommendation
Okay.
or
Yeah,
like
I'd like
maybe a
that. That'd be
show.
cool.
I watch a lot of Who.
Yeah.
And so like yeah, maybe we could do that.
We could do a music recommendation. I think that'd be fun. Like that way every week like we're like talking about what we were listening to or something.
do you want to switch like every week? Do you want to
We do
like could
show
I make a
week,
rec?
show
Can I make
music,
a
show
rec?
music.
No, like could I make a rec this week of whatever I want, and then next week then you make like a
Yeah,
recommendation of
yeah, that's
whatever
cool.
you think or what you're into?
Yeah,
Okay.
recommend away, my friend.
Dang. You know what? This is gonna be a dumb one.
Oh
I
God.
would recommend going and if probably people watch Survivor on here.
Oh God, you told me about
I know
this.
this is dumb. Dude, guys, there's 34 seasons on Hulu. Okay. You can go back to the first season of Survivor in like 2001. It's amazing. So I've just been into that because like I was watching as a kid and I was like 13 and I don't know what's going on. I'm like, oh, that guy got voted out
Yeah.
because he failed the challenge. But like now watching it, it's so good. And so I would recommend that. I'm starting off with a very mild, I didn't want to get too deep into music.
That's on Hulu?
Yet. Yeah, it's on Hulu. There's
Okay,
34
I'm gonna watch
seasons.
that.
It's so good. Watch season 34 is Game Changers. It's epic, dude. And I love Jeff Probst too. Like the host is just timeless man. So yeah, that's my rec.
Nice. I dig that. I'm actually gonna watch that because I used to watch it on TV, and I thought it was pretty cool. So I think it'd be funny to watch it now when I'm a little older.
That's what I'm saying. And too, it's good with a girlfriend or a friend, like kind of because you like people, you don't like people in there.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's way more interesting than I thought it was initially. And so those that can revisit it, I would highly recommend to do so.
All right, I'm gonna revisit it.
All right, and that's
I think
that.
that's it. Yeah, that
We're gonna
wraps
wrap
it
it.
up.
Woo.
That was a long one.
That was a good one. I think this is more like the format that like we were thinking
Yeah.
that these would be like, that one question kind of like deep dived into a bunch of other subjects.
Mm.
And so I think this is what the people want. Leave a comment down below if you liked it. And, I know people will let us know. They always do. And as always, leave a comment down below, a question, a topic about literally anything. And we will answer it or cover it in the next one.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend and have a, good rest of the week. Hang in there.
Stay safe.
Yeah, stay safe.
Yeah.
And think about what you're doing.
There's an underlying message.
There is definitely. And watch Survivor too. Don't
Watch
forget
Survivor,
that.
yes.
It's very important.
All
All right. See you guys in the next one.
Peace.